September 6, 1631, Part 1, Opposites Attract. During this time, Amelia Enfield was having to process very important events that had occurred in her life. The friendship group process took a toll on her mentally, with her crying after every event and contemplating removing herself from it every few days. It took the realization that her statistics grades would suffer if she continued and fear of losing her scholarship for her to finally pull the plug. She felt like a failure at that moment, upset that she couldn't handle multiple things at once, but in the end she figured it was probably for the best. Looking for a way to distract herself, she decided to resort back to her childhood hobbies for a change. A month before summer break, she joined a sports league where she met someone who caught her attention. This league occurred once a week at the local gym in her hometown, with Amelia only knowing her former coach who was in charge of the league. Playing sports made her happy. The competitiveness allowed her to work hard for something in order to achieve a goal. 3 weeks into this league, she noticed a boy watching her from a distance. They had never met, but everyone else in the league knew who he was. His name was Spencer, a skilled participant of the sport with a competitive spirit. At times he would let his spirit get the best of him, downing a beer or two, but Amelia found him interesting. As Amelia sat down next to her assigned team members, she felt a tap on her shoulder. She turned and looked up to see Spencer smiling at her. "You're really good," he said. "Oh, thank you," Amelia said nervously. "I have been watching you play from over there," he said, pointing in the direction of his team. "I had to walk over and see for myself." Amelia smiled. "Thanks, you are really good as well," she flirted back, or at least she attempted to flirt. They both laughed and walked back to their respective teams and continued their games. This back and forth of walking to each other's sections continued for a few weeks until Spencer asked Amelia on a date. Amelia accepted, and so it began her first relationship. However, very quickly did she realize that people's true identities come through the more time you spend with them. Spencer was a few years older than Amelia, and at times it showed. Spencer would attend their dates violently hungover, causing her to care for him more than the other way around. He was also quite forward, having more experience in life than she did. Unfortunately or fortunately, this difference in opinions and experiences caused their breakup after having only spent 1 month together as a couple. Spencer moved on quickly and Amelia was left heartbroken. She felt as if this entire breakup was her fault. Her first boyfriend, first kiss, all gone. Much needed. A few days after this moment, Amelia started working at the carnival where she met Bennett. January 12, 1632, Part 2, Sweet Calls and Falls. In previous chapters, it was explained that Amelia and Bennett grew fond of each other while working at the carnival, and through their conversations, the more time they spent together, the more Amelia felt close to him. They never discussed the possibility of being in a relationship, as they were both afraid of hurting their friendship. That is, until a night that Amelia would never forget. On this night, Bennett had taken Amelia on a trip to the carnival to just play games and have dinner, reminiscing on their time there. They encountered old co-workers and Amelia would watch as Bennett played games and laugh. Every so often, Bennett would make eye contact and smile at Amelia, causing butterflies to stir in her. How did he still make her nervous? Was this something more? After a few hours spent at the carnival, Bennett started driving Amelia home. Bennett asked her about her studies and university, seeing that Amelia was in her head. Amelia explained how she was feeling concerned that maybe she was studying the wrong thing or that she wishes she was doing more with her life. She felt herself getting overwhelmed and on the verge of tears, so she stopped speaking. The car pulled over and Amelia lowered her head. Bennett placed his hand on Amelia's knee, allowing for her to calm herself down. When he felt her breathing return to normal, he placed his hand on her chin. Amelia looked up, gazing at his eyes for the first time, as Bennett pulled her in close to kiss her. She laughed a bit and kissed him back. Her stomach began hurting from the butterflies, but this moment was special. She was being cared about by someone who truly cared for her. After a few minutes of this moment, Amelia pulled away and smiled shyly. "I should drive you home before it gets too late," he said, turning red from the nerves as well. "Good idea," Amelia laughed. As they pulled up to her house, Amelia hugged him goodbye with an embrace that lasted a while. As she stepped out of the car, she said, "See you later." She watched him pull away from the house, and as she walked up the stairs into her home, she felt a tightness in her chest, but not from the nerves. Maybe it was love. She laid down on her bed, dreaming about how that moment had happened. She thought about how this would change her dynamic with Bennett if she pursued him, or if he pursued her. She was awakened from her dream by her phone ringing. Who would call her this late? "Hello," she answered. "Hey, it's me. I know we just saw each other, but I can't stop thinking about what just happened. Before you say anything, I want you to know that I care about you. A lot. I know the kiss was unexpected, but to me it felt right. I hope it did for you too. I want to ask you if you want to be in a relationship with me. We can be together all the time." Amelia felt all of the butterflies come back. She felt the same for him, but she was too nervous to say it. "I care about you as well, so much. Every time I see you or think about you, I get butterflies in my stomach. I am nervous about being in a relationship, after dealing with what I went through in my first one. I hope you understand." "I understand, Amelia. But I also understand that you are beautiful and meant to be with someone that cares about you. I don't want to mess up our friendship either, but I will risk it all if it means I get to be with you. I want to look into your stunning eyes every day, and watch you smile as you laugh at my bad jokes. Tell me what you feel and I will guide you through it." Amelia sighed. "I am nervous, but it doesn't mean that I don't want you. I have never been in a serious relationship before, and I know that you have. When you kissed me, all my nerves went away, and when I saw you, all my hesitations go away. I don't want my reality to ruin what we have or we can have. If I could live in this dream for the rest of my life, I would." Amelia and Bennett continued talking and confessing their true feelings for one another for the entire night. As the conversation went on, Amelia could feel herself believing in a future for them together. She was unsure of how their lives would fit together, but in this dream of hers the logistics didn't matter. She would be able to have him and for him to have her. At around 2 in the morning, Amelia realized that she needed to sleep to be ready for class the next day. She told Bennett that she needed to sleep, and they would speak again the next day. Amelia woke up the next morning to a message from Bennett that said, "Hello, love. I can't wait to see you again." She took a deep breath. Was her dream about to be her reality? End of chapter 11.